The word of the day during the fourth day of the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte was typo error. Yun po, nagiging famous ang typo error during the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte, the fourth day. Yesterday po, July 13. July 13. So ano ba talaga ang meaning ng sabihin natin na typo error? Typo error, yun lang ba when we type something, instead of department, we type or we wrote depart or something like that po, no? Or is it considered typo error the whole complete name of ng tao ba, ng institution ba, anong opisina pa? Is it considered a typo error? Yun po, nagiging issue dyan po sa fourth day of the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte, wherein si attorney Jeremy, Attorney Jeremy said that sa affidavit niya po, ano daw yun po, ang date, no? Ang date at saka mga pangalan po, typo error lang daw yun po. Typo error lang daw yun po. Anyway, let's see. May mga video clips tayo dito I prepared and for you to really understand ano talagang issue typo error po, no? So, before going any further, I would like to greet each and every one of us, ang mga kababayan, kaibigan at kapatid ko po dito sa Malaysia, be it in West Malaysia, or dito po sa Sabah, particularly dito po sa Kota Kinabalu City, as well as ang mga overseas Filipino workers sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo. I would like to welcome each and every one of you dito sa programa natin, Tuesday edition, July 14 sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. At the same time, huwag natin kalimutan na i-greet din sa mga kababayan, kaibigan at kapatid natin dyan mismo sa bayan natin, ang Pilipinas, no? Kumusta kayo mga kababayan, kapatid at kaibigan? I hope okay na okay ang buhay ninyo ngayon. Today is Tuesday. Magandang araw sa ating lahat. Kung sa malayo pa yun po, this is how we greet. Morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's salamat pagi, salamat patang, and salamat malam. Welcome na welcome kayo dito sa programa natin. Alright, let's start with this what transpired during the fourth day of the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte, wherein nakita natin po ang NBI Regional Director, no? Regional Director po si Attorney Jeremy took the stand and he was directly examined by ang prosecution lawyer, and after which na-conduct din po yung cross examination done by the defense team po, si Attorney Veluan. Attorney Veluan is a young lawyer po, no? So lahat sila yung mga lawyer doon po sa side ni prosecution, si Attorney Ligutan, si Attorney Ligutan po. So nandito po ang witness ng prosecution is Attorney Jeremy Lotok. Attorney Jeremy Lotok. So let me share with you some video clips dito po, ano talaga nag-transpire during the hearing yesterday po. And today, mayroon na naman hearing, and that will be at the 2 p.m. this afternoon po. So, the first video clip that I'm going to share with you po is ang mga question ng mga senator judges po during the hearing kahapon. So, let's watch and listen. Let's watch and listen to hindi naman kompleto itong lahat po, no? Ang mga statement ng mga senator judges, but at least you will have you'll be able to see kung sino-sino sabihin natin na question ang witness, si Attorney Jeremy Lotok yesterday. Nandito po, let's watch and listen to this video clip. Sandali po. Sandali, nandito po. Alright, okay. Ready na kayo? ready din tayo dito sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico, to share with you ang video clip. Listen to this. Listen and watch to this.
Opinion, I think the errors in the investigation data form should be answered by the receiving office, and I think it's not, hindi siya talaga yung dapat sumagot sa mga katanungan na ipinabato sa kanya ngayon. Mukhang hindi siya really not qualified at sumasablay-sablay itong taon to. Thank you.
Ano po itong kaso? Naisampa na po ba ng DOJ o hindi pa?
I think ongoing po ang preliminary investigation.
1 year preliminary. 1 year. Over 1 year. January to January is 1. February, March, April, May, June, July. Is it normal for the DOJ to conduct a preliminary about over a year? Mr. Witness?
Hindi ko po masasagot, sir.
Hindi niyo masagot.
Sir.
Could it be, hindi po kayo nagtatanong sa kanila, Sir, anong problema? Bakit hindi po pa naisasampa sa korte yung aming isinampang kaso dito sa inyo? Hindi ko kayo nagtataka?
Ang alam ko, sir, Your
No,
Honor,
hindi kayo nagtanong po sa kanya, sa kanila kung bakit? May kulang pa po ba para DOJ? Ano pong kakulangan?
pag ang referral po, Your Honor, is nasa DOJ na, hands off na ho kami doon. Sila ho ang magde-decide doon kung paano nila ipaprocess yung dokumento.
Kailangan din yung unang affidavit of investigation.
Yes, sir.
January 30, tapos February 5, yun yung sagot ng DOJ na may 7 notes.
Yes, Your Honor.
At February 5, yun din ang filing nung impeachment complaint against against Vice President Sara Duterte. And then, which you said wala kang knowledge doon. I'm just looking at the dates. Then February 10, yung revised na dun sa mga ang ginamit ng DOJ word insufficiency, yung 1 to 7 na punuan, no? Or whatever the term is. So, ang sagot ng witness, sir, sagot mo yung February 3, baka attachment lang kasi nung una yon.
Yes, sir, I think so.
Pero hindi siya pwedeng attachment nung una kasi January 30 sinubmit yun eh. So, hindi ka naman pwede mag-submit ng January 30 na attachment mo February 3. So, you went 3 days into the, or 4 days into the future kasi may 31 yung January.
Mr. Presiding Officer, less than 2 minutes din po. Attorney Lotok, sa gitna nung DOJ certification dated February 5, 2025 at yung pag-submit nyo ng kompletong affidavit of investigation na tinanggap na ng DOJ, may nagbago po ba sa di umanong sinabi ng Vice Presidente?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Wala. At sa gitna ng DOJ certification dated February 5, 2025 at yung pag-submit nyo ng kompletong affidavit of investigation na tinanggap na ng DOJ, may nagbago po ba sa rekomendasyon ng NBI?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Salamat po, Attorney Lotok. Salamat po.
Opo,
Opo, Your Honor.
nagdag clarification lang. The DOJ pointed out in its certification, yung pong pinakita kanina, no February 5, 2025, that the NBI is not the proper offended party to file a complaint for grave threats and referred its initial referral for case build-up. As a result of the referral for case build-up by the DOJ, the NBI later submit affidavits or statements from the offended parties, namely si Presidente Marcos, First Lady, at si former Speaker Martin Romualdez.
Hindi na po, Your Honor. Nung sinabit ho namin yung aming referral, yun po yung last phase ng investigation. And I think yung prosecutor na ho mag-i-issue ng summons sa mga parties involved. Ang purpose lang ho namin to comply with the requirements of preliminary investigation po.
Kung inutusan kayo ng November 23 na magkaroon ng investigasyon, bakit napakaaga? November 6, 2024, a subpoena was issued to ABS-CBN requiring them to submit an authenticated copy of the video pertaining to the 18 October press con. Nandito to sa affidavit ninyo, nasa page 8, number 14. Kung inutusan kayo ng November 23, ang ibig ba sabihin, November 6 pa lang, minamanmanan na si Vice President? Iniimbestigahan na siya bago pa yung Zoom conference sa Kongreso.
No, Your Honor, I believe that's a typo yung date.
Sorry?
That's a typo, Your Honor, yung date. Kasi makikita doon yung date noong appearance ng taga-ABS-CBN, which is consistent po siya doon sa ibang initial.
Kailan ba yung appearance? Kasi hindi ko nasusundan yung timeline ninyo eh. Parang yung November 23 yung utos, pero November 6 pa lamang may sabina na. Bakit nagkaganon?
Type mo na yung affidavit mo, type pa yung subpoena.
Hindi po.
The subpoena or the affidavit?
Dalawa yan eh.
What are you looking at, Attorney Latrop?
Sabina, Your Honor.
So the subpoena is dated November 6.
Okay. And the affidavit also is November 6. Dalawang typo carried over.
Asan yung affidavit? Hindi ko pa nakita, ma'am, yung affidavit na November.
Your
Ikaw
affidavit
ang
says
pumirma
November
eh.
6.
Pwede patingin ako.
Yung affidavit of investigation mo na binigay, pati yung amended, carried over din. Yung first draft na rineject ng DOJ, yung ikalawa, parehong November 6. Firmado ninyo eh.
November 6, 2024 ang nakasulat yan.
So typo din yan? Is it your testimony na typo din yan?
I believe so, Your Honor. Kasi ang intention namin dyan is 11 December 2024.
Anyway, Senator na nung tinatanong kayo ng prosecution na yung statements ni Attorney Zulaika Lopez ay walang kinalaman dun sa threat na ginawa ng Vice President. Tama po ba?
Kinonsider namin siya dun sa totality ng aming investigation. Then nakita namin na even before nung situation ni Attorney Zulaika, base dun sa atirases ng Vice Presidente, meron na ho siyang kinausap. So,
Ayun ang next na tanong ko. At ibig nyo ba sabihin na even prior to this video, meron na siyang nakausap na kinontrata?
that's the attirances, Your Honor. Ang sabi niya, huwag kang mag-alala, ma'am, sapagkat may kinausap na akong tao. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, pag namatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Marcos, si former speaker. So, nakita namin, may kinausap na siya even before the press conference was held on November 23, 2024.
So base sa kanyang statements, sa inyong pag-aanalitika, meron na siyang nakuusap na kinontrata?
Yes, Your Honor, and we believe na hindi naman ho magsisinungaling ang Vice Presidente ron kasi galit na galit nga po siya.
Meron dito sa mga tanong ng counsel ng prosecution na yung mga term na ginamit nyo, serious and real threat. Tapos meron din kayong sinabi na serious and threat is actionable. Nasabi niyo yun over the course ng mga pagtatanong.
Threats is actionable. I don't remember, Your Honor, using the word threat. Actionable threat, Your Honor.
As threat is actual, sorry. Threat is actual. No? So, I think this to mean na meron talaga siya. And kung yan ang paniniwala nyo, dahil ito ay pagbanta no, sa ating Pangulo, may ginawa pa ang NBI na imbestigahan kung talaga bang merong nakontratang gagawa nitong banta.
Yeah, I think a couple of months ago may binuho ang aming direktor. Nagbuo siya ng task force to investigate threats against the life of the President. Kaya lang hindi na ako part nun, Your Honor.
Ko dahil tayo dito sa ating bansa, sanay tayo sa whole of government approach, whole of nation approach. Dapat mayroong whole of agency approach, in this case, the NBI. Ang tanong ko, meron ba kayo mismo, o kasama pa kayo mismo, doon sa pag-iimbestiga ng actual na threat, yung pagkontrata ng tao na pwedeng gawin itong threat na ito?
I believe so, Your Honor. The fact na mayroong binuong special task force,
At kasali kayo doon?
hindi po ako kasali.
Bakit hindi kayo kasali doon? Ako nagtataka dahil kung banta to sa buhay ng ating Pangulo at nanggaling sa opisina ninyo yung source, dapat kasali kayo.
Your Honor, since nasa regional office ako, Nung nagbuo ng task force, definitely, itatak nila yung mga regional offices na meron ba dyan sa region ninyo na information o intelligence na ganito. Meron nung ganong practice, Your Honor.
Coordination, kasi ito Pangulo no less than our President. Meron bang ginawang coordination kayo o yung binuong task force ng NBI kasama ang nag-coordinate sa NSC, nag-coordinate sa PSG at sa iba pang mga national agencies dahil Pangulo natin to
Opo.
Meron bang ganun na ginawa kayo o yung binuong task force?
Well, insofar as the Cybercrime Division during that time, ang focus po namin is yung investigation dun sa threat against the life vis-a-vis yung November 23, 2024 utterances. Now, insofar dun sa sinasabi niyo po, Your Honor, ang makakasagot po niyan, yung intelligence service po namin, kasi ano na po yun para siyang deep dive intelligence gathering na po yun.
Ang punto ko lang naman is sa ganitong napakahalagang banta, ini-expect ko sa NBI na meron silang whole of agency approach na kasama kayo dahil nanggaling doon yung...
Yes, Your Honor, yung binuho ng direktor na memo, nag-create siya ng task force, and then yung task force, tinatap po dyan lahat ng regional offices. Anong information meron kayo about dito sa central office?
Anong resulta nun? Last question.
Well, in so far as the NBI BARM is concerned, yung hawak ko pong region, meron kaming ongoing investigation pero hindi ho related dun sa kausap ni Sara. Meron kaming iniimbestigahan na nag-threaten sa presidente. Sa matter of fact, na-identify namin. So, ongoing pa siya. Nag-aantay lang kami ng order galing sa taas kung ano yung guidance.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Ano na yung kay Senator Win, Senate President?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. So, didiretsuhin ko na, no? So, what we're trying to figure out here kasi is, are you really investigating whether may threat kay VP Sara and whether she threatened the individual mentioned, including the President? Or are you only investigating the video and finding kung meron siyang crime? So, I asked Agent John Mark Galilum, hindi daw niya kinausap ang sabi ko PSG, pero PSC na sila ngayon, ba? Presidential Security Command. So did you speak to the Presidential Security Command about the threat on the President?
Your Honor, in terms of correspondence between the Presidential Security Command at yung NBI, ang makakasagot po niyan yung director. Kasi hindi ko alam kung may usapan mo sila. Meron ho kasi kaming tinatawag na need to know basis. Ang focus lang ho namin as...
The problem with your answers, Witness, is that kung yan ang sagot mo parati, hindi mo inimbestigahan ng gusto.
Hindi ho.
Because you didn't get the information from your intelligence. You did not get your information from the task force. You did not get your information from the Presidential Security Group. Did you talk to the CIDG?
Your Honor,
May you answer first. Did you talk to the CIDG?
no, Your Honor.
No. But nag-imbestiga din sila, di ba?
I think so, Your Honor, kasi may statement sila.
So yun din yung tanong nga ng Senate President eh. Kung iniimbestigahan nyo talaga yung buo at kayo ang head at kayo dapat ang mag-imbestiga, bakit hindi nyo kinausap yung mga ibang nag-iimbestiga? Baka may alam sila na hindi.
Yung usapan po na yan, it's a matter of intelligence. Hindi ko alam kung may usapan sila o kung wala silang usapan with the director and with the intelligence service, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'll take that answer, but I think at least alam nyo yung nasa isip namin and what we want clarified. Secondly, sir, all of you, yung apat, you signed the February 2025 NBI Affidavit of Investigation. Tama po ba, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor, our affidavit.
Tapos kasama dito yung verification nyo, basically saying that based on the records, tama tong lahat. No?
Verification ng ano po, Your Honor? No?
Sa dulo, nag-sign kayo ng verification.
Verification of non-forum shopping, Your Honor?
Yes, and that, aside from non-foreign shopping, give me some latitude because to explain the question. We read and understood its contents and the allegations therein are true based on authentic records.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. So may mali ba dito? Factually, wala. Na-review mo naman to.
Kung may konting typo dyan, which is...
Hindi typo,
naman,
factual.
So far as I'm concerned,
Sino po ba nag-prepare?
ang team po namin with the...
Tapos pinapirma sa inyo.
Hindi ho, kami ho nagtulong-tulong mag-draft ng affidavit of investigation kung ano yung legal basis namin, and then we agree and we concluded na ito yun.
Then someone typed it up, then you signed. I asked this because nung tinanong ko kay Agent Mark John Calium, sabi niya, dito nakalagay conditional pero tingin niya absolute. You answered the same thing, it's absolute, pero dito nakalagay conditional.
The utterances itself, Your Honor, is what we called event-based condition, ang classification namin.
Okay.
Yun yung utterances, Your Honor.
I'll take that answer. I think mas factual yun. But sa paragraph 51, was VP Duterte ever Secretary of the Department of Justice?
No, Your Honor, Department of Education.
Nakalagay dito, to recall, VP Duterte resigned as the Secretary of the Department of Justice, and she herself admitted that her relationship with the President has become toxic and she would imagine her strangling him and cutting off her head.
That's typo, Your Honor.
That's not a typo. A typo means yung department naging depart. The Department of Justice and Department of Education are two different things.
Ang alam namin, sorry po.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Department of Education, ang alam.
Yeah. So, kasi, I just filed my counter affidavit sa ombudsman about yung obstruction of justice. Ilang beses ko kailangang basahin kasi nga, pag may mali, pinirmahan nyo na sinasabi nyo, no? But anyway,
Alright, yan po, narinig natin na some of the question raised by the Senator Judge during the fourth day of the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte, wherein ang witness ng prosecutor was the regional or NBI, National Bureau of Investigation Regional Director, si Attorney Jeremy Lotok, Lotok po. And yan na po, lumabas ang pangalan, ang word nagiging hindi naman controversial but nagiging popular po, yon typo error, sabi ni Attorney Jeremy Lotok po. And one very good example, we just heard po, sabi ni Senator Cayetano sa affidavit mismo ni NBI Regional Director Lotok, sabi niya po, it was stated there that Inday Sara Duterte or Vice President Inday Sara Duterte was mentioned there as the Secretary of Department of Justice, where in fact it should be Secretary of Education po, no? And ang sagot naman ni Attorney Lotok, sabi niya that is a typo error. Typo error. Typo error ba yun po? Mayroon pa yung mga another typo error issue po, wherein ang date no, November 6, which was raised by Senator Judge Senator Judge Amy Marcos, and no less than the presiding officer, si Senator Judge Presiding Officer Chis Escudero also mentioned during the proceeding about the typo error, no? Mayroon sabi ni Lotok, may typo error na po dyan sa supena at saka sa ibang dokumento, no? Sa ibang dokumento po. Last week, if you remember, the word of that hearing was yun na po, photocopy can be considered as original. Ngayon po is typo na naman po. Typo error. So, ibig sabihin na that only shows, if we'll base on the questioning of the senators, no? That only shows that si Attorney Lotok did not properly check ang affidavit niya of which he signed, no? Of which he signed po. Kasi ang dami mga mali-mali. Kaya si Senator Erwin Tulfo also questioned that thing, no? Sabi niya, bakit maraming mga discrepancies, may mga mali po, no? It should have, the signatory should have made sure that he read twice, thrice, or many times po before submitting it, no? As the official documents sa impeachment hearing ni Inday Sara Duterte. So yun po ang issue. Sa palagay ninyo po, kayo nang bahala. And I will leave it sa inyo po, no, when it comes to this matter. Now, let me share with you another video clip, ang recap ng GMA 5 yata ito po, regarding what transpired dyan po sa Day 4 impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte. Let's watch and listen to this report. Hold on po. Hold on. Alright, sandali. Let's watch and listen to this report. Sandali po. Okay, nandito.
Na nangyari sa ika-4 na araw ng impeachment hearing ni VP Sara Duterte. Sino si Attorney Jeremy Lotok? Hinarap ng prosekusyon si Attorney Jeremy Lotok. Siya ang dating chief ng Cybercrime Division ng NBI noong panahong iniimbestigahan nila ang mga kill remarks ni VP Sara laban kila President Bongbong Marcos. Siya ang dating boss ng naunang witness na si Agent John Mark Calillo. Sabi ni Attorney Lotok, natukoy daw ng NBI na merong intent, motive at capability si VP Sara na gawin ang kanyang mga umano'y kill remarks kila BBM at iba pa. Nasabi rin niya na may pattern si VP Sara na magsabi ng mga ganitong kill remarks. Sinama niya sa example niya yung isang press conference noong October 2024 kung saan sabi ni VP Sara ay gusto daw niyang putulin ang ulo ni BBM. Freedom of speech pa ba yun? Sabi ni Attorney Lotok na hindi itinuring ng NBI na saklaw ng freedom of speech ang mga kill remarks ni VP Sara. Ayon sa kanya, ang freedom of speech ay nagbibigay lamang ng proteksyon sa mga legal na pagpapahayag. Ipinaliwanag din niyang ginamit ng mga investigador ang dangerous tendency rule na nagsasabing kung nagsasuggest ng unlawful acts o public disorder ang isang pahayag, hindi na yan pasok sa freedom of speech. Dagdag pa ni Attorney Lotok na kung magiging normal at katanggap-tanggap ang ganitong uri ng pahayag, wala nang titigan sa iba na magbanta sa buhay ng ibang tao. Daming typos. Sa cross-examination, dinikdik ng depensa ang maraming typographical errors, maling dates at magkakaibang docket numbers sa ilang affidavit at subina ng NBI. Napansin din ito ng ilang senator judges. Inamin ni Lotok na may ilang typographical errors, ngunit sinabi niyang hindi niya maipaliwanag ang mga docket number at ibang record ng DOJ dahil hindi siya ang gumawa ng mga ito. Ilang ulit ding sinabi ni Presiding Officer Senator Cheese Escudero na ang mga tanong tungkol sa mga record ng DOJ ay dapat sagutin ng mga testigo mula sa DOJ. Magpapatuloy ulit ang impeachment hearing ni VP Sara Duterte bukas, July 14, alas 2 ulit ng hapon.
Alright, dahil yan po ang recap, brief recap of GMA 5 po, no, regarding what transpired during the Day 4 impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte. Ang Day 4 po, we were all expecting they will finish it yesterday po, but medyo mahaba ang cross-examination made by the defense team po, and it will continue today po, July 14 at 2 p.m. After which, they will present ang defense team or prosecution team will present another witness nila po for direct examination and of course for cross-examination from the defense lawyer, no? From the defense lawyer. Now, let me share you another video clip po dito and reaction coming from Attorney Salvador Panelo. Nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this. Attorney Salvador Panelo po. Tingnan natin po. Hold on. Sandali po. Attorney Panelo. Alright. Tingnan natin. Sandali po. Okay.
Attorney, yung naging testimony ni Lotok ngayon, ni Agent Lotok, ano mainly ang na-prove doon?
Ang namunod doon, nag-imbestiga sila, pero hindi malalim ang investigasyon.
nila imbestigahan. Pangalawa, yung sila nag-determine kung may crime nga o hindi. Kasi iba-iba sagot, di ba? Pinupunto na isa senator. Conditional, wala ko sige, absolute. Ano ba talaga? Ang gulo ninyo. Parang ganun, kung baka hindi sila consistent. Pero when you say hindi malalim, hindi lang malalim, is that what you're saying? Wala silang na-prove kasi, di ba, iniimbestigahan nila supposedly. It's threat. Pero sa threat na yun, ang importante dun yung assassin Doon nga sila nagko-concentrate Hindi nila naprobahan yun. Nung hindi nila naprobahan, binabago nila ang kanilang naratibo. Hindi, kasi like Matka, seryoso, galit siya Kaya naniniwala kami talagang totoo ang ginawa niya yun. Lalo pag basic presidente siya. Hindi naman yun ang pinag-uusapan. Importante ba? Kaya na sinabi ko lang, yung circumstances kasi na ino-operate siya pagkatapos may tangka sa kanya, yun talaga nag-trigger ng galit na Kumbaga, nung malaman niya, patang lang papatayin ako ng mga ito. Parang tinakot niya rin, pag pinatay niyo ako, patay ko rin kayo. Hindi naman crime yung gano'n. Kaya galit na galit siya. Kaya yun talagang galit hindi sa akin.
Alright, yan po, narinig natin ang reaction coming from attorney Salvador Panelo po, who is a very strong supporter of the Dutertes. Strong supporter of the Dutertes. And yes, there is trial for day 5, day 4 and 5 na po. Kasi continuation today, no? Continuation of day 4. And tuloy pa rin po ang day 5, no? And for your information, para sa day 5, kasi today is already July 14, Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial resumes Tuesday, today po, July 14. What are we going to expect during this trial today? Zuleika Lopez, one of Vice President Sara Duterte's closest aides, is expected to be called by the prosecution to take the stand today po, July 14, for an article of impeachment detailing the alleged grave threats against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and his family. Lopez was issued a subpoena compelling her to appear before the court on July 13 and July 14 to provide material testimony in relation to the case. She will testify on Article 4 of the Articles of Impeachment, which accuses Duterte of capable violation of Constitution, high crimes, and contracting betrayed public trust by contracting for the assassination of President and his family members, by making grave threats, and by actively inciting sedition against the Republic. Senate Impeachment Court spokesperson Reginald Tongo said the court may order Lopez to explain her absence should she fail to appear and testify. But based on the reports that we received, na si attorney Zuleika Lopez will be present in today's hearing po. That will start at 2 p.m. That will start at 2 p.m. And let's see po what will happen. But before, at 2 p.m., mag-resume muna sila po. They will continue the cross-examination of the defense team kay Regional or National Bureau of Investigation Regional Director, dyan yun po sa Barn area, si Attorney Jeremy Loto. After that, mag-umpisa na sila po yon direct examination, of course, to be followed by the cross-examination both from the lawyer of the prosecution and the lawyer of the defense team. So yan po ang latest updates natin tungkol sa, sabihin natin, impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte. And I will continue itong Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico. I will continue to monitor ang mga hearings dyan po sa Manila, sa Senado. And should there be any very important breaking news po, I will make sure that tayo dito po sa Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico, you will immediately and properly be informed, supported by video clips po, by video clips, para they will not accuse us of fake news po. Fake news. But before I'm going to end itong episode natin, again, I would like to remind each and every Filipino, especially tayo mga ordinaryong Filipino po, let us continue to fight, let us continue to shout, let us continue to demand the present administration or ang gobyerno natin po that we want to see that those people involved sa flood control project which they stole trillions of pesos sa mga Filipino, ang taxpayers money natin po, This is what we want from the government, to make sure that those involved, politicians, be it senators, congressmen, top government officials, and that includes cabinet ministers, undersecretaries, and assistant secretaries of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, if they are involved, if they are involved, found guilty, involved sila po, we want to see that they will be put behind bars. They have to pay for the crime they committed po sa atin, mga ordinaryong Filipino po. And whatever they stole from us po, we want that it will be returned back to the treasury of the Philippines po. Dahil dyan sa kalukuhan nila po, mga magnanakaw, nakita na natin po what is happening now sa Pilipinas. Every time we have typhoons, heavy downpour, baha. Many of the places in the Philippines nabaha po, nabaha. We experience flash flood. Now, if that because of this stupidity, greediness that they did, those involved in the flood control project po, we will not be experiencing this kind of inconveniences, damage to properties, including casualties, fatalities po. Fatalities whenever we experience itong natural calamities like typhoon, landslide, and so forth and so on. Kaya nga, let us again remind always to the government, for as long as they will not show us that they are serious in stopping itong corruption sa Pilipinas po by putting behind bars those are involved sa illegal activities, I think they will never get the trust again from the Filipino people. Mr. President, please show to us that you are serious by making sure Saldico, Romualdez, or whoever in your family, and your friends in politics mo, make sure that they will be put behind bars or they will be punished. They will be punished if found guilty for committing such crime sa mga Filipinos po. Alright? So, with this, siguro, hanggang dito na lang muna ang programa natin, Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico. And once again, si Nico would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Enjoy kayo po ang Tuesday. And I hope that today, Tuesday, will be a problem-free day for all of us. Be it the Filipinos in the Philippines, Filipinos in Malaysia, that includes our Malaysian friends, and of course, ang mga overseas Filipino workers sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo. Hidop Malaysia, Sababole, mabuhay ang Pilipinas, God bless the world. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye, you take care, and I love you all.